We moved 12 times in 30 years, 12 howlers, 7 states. 1 year in Germany that neither of us ever quite recovered from. People used to ask me, doesn't that get hard? Moving like that, never putting down roots. And I think, roots, I had all the roots I needed. She was my roots. She was every home I ever had. First house was a rental with a leaking kitchen sink, Harvest Gold appliances, and carpet that made you think. She hung curtains by the second date and learned the mailman's name. Put a plant beside the window, and that rental never looked the same. Second house was smaller in a town we didn't know. Dead of winter, January, nowhere left to go. She made friends with a woman at the end of the frozen street, and by March that whole neighborhood was coming over for a meal to eat. The year in Germany was harder than the rest by far. Strange language, strange winter, strange city, no familiar stars. I'd come home from the office, lost inside myself and cold. She'd have candles on the table and a story to be told. She'd found a market 3 streets over, selling something close to home. Found a church where nobody spoke English, but the hymns all felt the same. Said, baby, home isn't a country, and it isn't any language. Home is just 2 people who decided on each other's name. She made friends on every continent. She learned to say hello in 7 different ways. And everywhere we landed, people thought we lived there always. That was just her gift. That was just her grace. The house we retired to was the prettiest of all of them. She spent 2 years making it exactly right. Every room a different memory from every place we'd been. Every corner holding something from a different season of our life. The German candle holders on the mantelpiece, the quilt she bought in Tennessee in 1989, the photograph from our 3rd house in the hallway by the stairs, the blue vase from that market on the mountain in 99. She built our whole life into those 4 walls. Every place we'd ever been came home with us at last. And then she left those 4 walls standing empty. And I learned that home was never walls at all. I couldn't be in that house the first month after. Drove to my daughter's and I slept in the spare room. Couldn't face the kitchen where she'd found the morning light. Couldn't face the garden she'd planted in the June. Then my granddaughter came to stay one Thursday, 7 years old with her little overnight bag. And I watched her walk through every room like she owned the place, the way her grandmother walked into every room we ever had. She put her drawing on the refrigerator with a magnet, set her little shoes side by side beside the door. Asked if she could keep her cup down on the bottom shelf so she could reach it by herself without asking anymore. And I had to leave the kitchen because I was crying and I couldn't explain, not to a 7-year-old, not right then. Because what I saw was her grandmother walking through that door of 90 Seaman 4 with a plant for the window of our first rented kitchen and a smile that said, wherever we are, we're home. She stayed that whole week, and every morning something shifted in that house. The smell of her shampoo in the bathroom, her drawings multiplying on the fridge, her shoes always perfectly beside the door, her cup on the bottom shelf. And by Thursday evening, sitting across from her at the kitchen table, in the best light of the kitchen, the light my wife had found and put the table under. I thought, Lord, you didn't just make homes, she planted something in the people that she loved, and now it grows in this little girl the way it grew in her, the way it still grows in me. My granddaughter asked me before she left, Grandpa, do you feel better now? I told her yes. I told her a whole lot better. She said, good, I put my cup in the cupboard, so it's here when I come back. I didn't move it, I'm not gonna move it, 'cause that cup on the bottom shelf means somebody's coming back.